Don't let me vex so my own vex pass your own. No. If you just say you go I relate to those say my own head.
Let me get this with that.
I want problems always.
Let's leave that for that. Leave Gadu's for Gadu's date. Okay, so basically I'm going to be talking about 15 most important topics you are going to need if you want to write Jamb. That is in physics. 15 most important topic. But you know that normally there is a syllabus. Physics has Jamb has syllabus that is for all subjects. Well, so I think in Jamb syllabus for physics, they have about 39 subjects you have to deal with. That is combination of the subjects in your SS1, your SS2, and your SS3. 39 topics. And if you know you don't have time, maybe you're out of time, maybe you have about 7 weeks or 8 weeks to your exam. Basically, the first thing you have to do now is to deal with these 15 topics I'm about to mention, because they are the basic topic that Jamb usually deal with. At least I'm not saying that this is the only topic you are going to be meeting, or it's not the only topic you are going to be meeting questions on. I'm just saying most important topics that they usually set questions on. You can confirm that from your past questions, the past questions you'll be treating. So let's go straight to the point. First of all, I'm going to be talking about, when we're talking about physics usually deal with your retention, your understanding, and application. The way you physics deal with the formula needs application. So the first topic on my list, which I have dimension and unit analysis. Dimension and unit analysis. That is basically, you see, dimension and unit analysis is not highly repeated, but you see, the generation of physics is from dimension. That's the beginning of, even from your SS1. The first thing you have to do with is dimension and unit analysis. Dimension and unit, from units or from the dimension, you can be able to derive formula, many things. There is something I usually tell my students. I will tell them, when you are dealing with physics, if there is something you don't know, if there's a formula you don't know, make sure you are familiar with unit and dimension. Because from unit and dimensions, you can derive physics formulas. So make sure you are very good at dimension and unit. Make sure you are good with that. That's number one. Number two, I have scalar and vector quantities. You should know that. When you are dealing with dimension and unit, that one you should deal with fundamental unit and derived units. Fundamental quantities, derived quantities. So, but the number two is scalar and vectors. Under scalar and vectors, you should be able to know the triangle law, parallelogram law of vectors. You should also be able to know how to resolve vectors into different components and so on. Make sure you are very good at that. Number three on my list, I don't want to waste time. I have work, energy, and power. These three topics, very simple topic, but make sure you are very good at it. Their formula, potential energy, you know about it, kinetic energy, K equals to 1/2 mv squared. Just make sure you know everything dealing with work, energy, and power. You know, work and energy and power, they are the one that lead to force, momentum, and so on. So make sure you deal with that very well. Number four on my list, I have elasticity. Elasticity is also a very important topic when you are dealing with physics. That is, make sure you know about your the Young modulus, tensile stress, tensile strain, and so on. Your final length, know the formula to solve, know the formula for strain, know the formula for stress itself, and so on. So number five on my list, I have machine. Machine is also a very simple. These topics I'm mentioning, they are very simple topics, so make sure you know about machine also. Machine, know about the mechanical advantage, the velocity ratio, efficiency, and so on. Anything else pertaining in machine. One thing you should know, Jamb don't usually ask definitions of maybe the by machine. They don't usually, the questions of definition it doesn't occur. Like, the occurrence is not high at all. So deal with machine. My number six, I have temperature and measurement. Temperature and know the difference between temperature and heat. Know how to convert each of the units, maybe from degrees Celsius to Kelvin, from Kelvin to Fahrenheit, from ranking to degrees Celsius. Make sure you know all these things very, very well. So that's number 6, temperature and measurement. Number 7, heat energy. Heat energy, a very good topic. This topic is very interesting and very light. You should know about the linear expansivity, effect of expansivity, and so on. Yeah, about heat transfer. You deal with conduction, convection, and radiation. Make sure you know these 3 heat method of heat transfer. Know them very well. Number 8 on my list, I have gas laws. Gas laws, whenever you want to do with any question partaking or pertaining gas, you need the gas laws, the Boyle's law, Charles law, Avogadro's law, Gay-Lussac's law. Make sure you know those laws very, very well. Number 9 on my list, I have motion. We deal with motion in our everyday life, everyday aspect. So make sure you know motion, know basics of motion, the formula, equations of motion. You should know equation of motion. You should know projectile. Yes, you should know projectile. I think projectile is a motion under gravity. Know about motion under gravity. Know about gravity. You should know that basically at maximum height, initial velocity is going to be what? Initial velocity is 0 at maximum height. Know these tips, and you should know that gravity, the velocity of gravity is negative. When an object is being thrown up, the velocity is going to be decreasing. But when an object is coming down, you should know that the gravity, the velocity is going to be increasing. It's increasing. Know these basic tips. And also I have on my list Newton's law of motion. Newton's law of motion, very important topic. Motion leads to Newton's law of motion. So make sure you deal with Newton's law of motion very well too. Newton's law of motion is also a very good topic. It's Newton's law of motion basically talks about forces. It talks about forces, your friction, your impulse, your momentum, equilibrium. Deal with these topics back to back. No take and play. Say back to back.
God have mercy upon us.
Oh my body, leave that for that. Okay, number 10 on my list, I have the topic wave. Wave. When you're dealing with wave, know the basics of wave, know about the formula, amplitude, just know about everything. Amplitude, frequency, period, your velocity, your velocity, speed. Also deal about sound wave, light wave, reflection of light wave, refraction of light waves. Just make sure you deal with everything concerning wave. Is that clear? So also deal with echo too. So I think 11 on my list, I have capacitor, series and parallel. Deal with capacitor in series and parallel. Know how to solve questions concerning capacitor in series and parallel. When you are dealing with physics questions, there are some questions that they are going to ask you to solve about the series, when they are connected in series or when they are connected in parallel. You should make sure you know about that very, very well. Number 12 on my list, I have electricity. You should know about static electricity. You should also know about current electricity. You should know about Ohm's law. Just anything concerning electricity, make sure you are very good at it. Exactly. Number 13 on my list, I have gravitation and magnetic field. Very useful. Make sure you learn about the basics of gravitation and magnetic field. Know about them very well. Number 14, modern physics. Also study modern physics. Basically, the part you should focus on is radioactivity. All this gamma ray, beta, and also just make sure you focus on radioactivity, basically, when you are dealing with modern physics. And number 15 on my list, I will advise you to deal with this topic. What's this topic? Latent heat of fusion. I think that is under heat energy, I guess. Yes, under heat energy, latent heat of fusion. Make sure you deal with it properly. So, and basically, I offer online lessons. Maybe you're having difficulties, I have online classes you can attend to. I also have apps to recommend to you that I guarantee you that is going to help you ace your Jamb 2025 examination. I wish you success. Thank you.